The camera is an instrument that teaches people how to see without a camera. Dorothea Lange, have you ever looked at your own photo and thought, why don't I look like myself? Maybe you smiled, posed, and still felt something was missing. You're not alone, and this might be happening for a spiritual reason, especially if you're someone who feels deeply, picks up on other people's moods, or gets tired after being in crowds. Then this message is for you. You might be an empath, and the way your energy works is very different from others, especially when compared to someone with narcissistic traits who loves attention and knows how to perform for the camera. The truth is, sometimes the camera doesn't capture your real beauty because it's trying to freeze something that's always moving: your soul, your energy, your light. And that light doesn't always show up in pixels, especially when you're holding the weight of someone else's emotions or feeling drained. What if your photo looked off? Not because of how you look, but because of the energy you were carrying at the time. Maybe the camera caught your tiredness, your protection mode, or even your inner battles, but not the soft, powerful spirit that lives in you. This video will open your heart and your eyes to a new way of seeing yourself, not through filters, but through truth. So stick with me till the very end, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you look at every photo you've ever taken. And if you're someone who feels this message deeply, make sure to join our community of empaths and energy-aware souls. Hit that like, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's walk this path together, because your energy matters more than your image ever will. A photograph can show us what we look like, but it doesn't always show who we really are. It captures the shape of our face, the color of our eyes, and the clothes we're wearing, but it doesn't show our energy. That's where things get interesting, especially for people who are empaths. An empath is someone who feels the emotions of others deeply. They can walk into a room and instantly sense if someone is sad, angry, or full of stress. Their body and mind are like a sponge, soaking up everything around them, even if they don't realize it. This becomes a problem when a photo is taken. If an empath has just been around someone who is angry or upset, they may carry that energy in their body. It can show up in ways they don't expect, like tired eyes, a fake smile, or a stiff pose. The camera takes a picture, but what it captures isn't just their appearance. It also reflects the energy they were holding at that moment. That's why sometimes an empath may look at a picture of themselves and feel disconnected or uncomfortable. It's not that they looked bad, it's that they didn't look like themselves. Now here comes the hook. Your photo may be showing someone else's energy sitting on your face. Think about that. Maybe the tension in your jaw wasn't even yours. Maybe the sadness in your eyes came from the friend sitting next to you. This is what makes photos tricky for empaths. They don't just show your looks, they reflect the energy you're surrounded by. Narcissists are very different. They often focus on being seen, admired, or praised. They know how to shine in front of a camera. They don't absorb energy like empaths do. They push their own energy outward. Their photos usually show confidence, charm, and control, even if it's not real. They wear their image like a costume. But empaths, they wear truth on their face, even if that truth is heavy. That's why their photos can feel off. They're full of invisible stories the camera didn't mean to catch. When you look at a photo of yourself, you might not just be seeing your face, You might be seeing your feelings, your thoughts, and even your hidden pain. For empaths, this can be tough. Empaths are gentle souls who often care more about others than themselves. Because of this, they can be very hard on themselves. When they look at a picture, they don't see what's beautiful. They zoom in on every tiny flaw, a little wrinkle, a strange smile, tired eyes. Things that most people would never notice suddenly feel huge and ugly to them. Narcissists, however, are the opposite. They've trained themselves to look for things they can be proud of. They want to be admired. They stand in front of the camera with confidence, charm, and a plan to impress. They don't see flaws. They see features. They don't wonder if they look good. They believe they do, no matter what. Now here's where it gets deep. A camera doesn't just show your outside. It becomes a mirror for what's happening inside. If you believe you're not good enough, not pretty enough, not worthy, that belief can show up in your expression. Your eyes might look sad. Your smile might feel fake. Not because you are those things, but because your mind is carrying old pain. Pain from rejection, comparison, or low self-worth. Here's the emotional twist. You're not ugly. You're simply seeing yourself through wounds you haven't healed yet. That powerful line can change how you think about your reflection. Maybe what you hate in the photo isn't your face. It's the unkind voice in your head. Maybe it's time to see yourself with softness, not judgment. Photos are not the full story. They don't show the love you give, the kindness in your heart, or the light in your soul. Especially for empaths, beauty isn't just on the outside, it's in the energy you carry. And sometimes, it takes more than a camera to truly capture that. Empaths are like moving water, always flowing, always feeling. Their energy changes from moment to moment because they connect deeply with people, emotions, and the space around them. One minute, they might feel calm. The next, a wave of sadness or joy can wash over them, depending on who they're with or what's happening nearby. This constant motion is natural for them. It's how their soul works. It flows, it shifts, it adapts. But a photograph doesn't move. It doesn't breathe. It captures just 1 second, one frame, one face. And that's where the problem begins. When a photo tries to freeze an empath's energy, it often catches them in the middle of a change. Maybe they were halfway through a feeling or shifting between thoughts. The result? A picture that feels off. Their expression might look confused. Their posture might seem stiff. Their eyes may not shine the way they usually do. It's not because they're not beautiful. It's because their energy was never meant to be paused. Empaths live in what's called a flow state. This means they are most themselves when they are moving, feeling, connecting, or creating. They shine when they're helping someone, listening with love, or simply being in nature. But when someone says, "Smile for the camera," it interrupts that natural flow. They step out of the moment and into performance. And for an empath, that can feel fake or forced. Here's the spiritual truth. Your soul wasn't meant to be paused. That's why you feel misrepresented. A still image can't capture the full you, because the real you is always in motion, always sensing, always glowing in a quiet, soft way that can't be frozen by a flash. So the next time you look at a picture of yourself and think, "Why do I look weird?" Remember this. It's not that something is wrong with you. It's that a single photo can never capture the full magic of your moving, feeling, flowing soul. When someone takes your photo, it might seem like a simple moment. Stand still, smile, click. But for empaths, it's much more than that. Every photo is a meeting of energies. It's not just about the person being photographed. It's also about the energy of the one behind the camera. And if that person has strong energy, or if they're emotionally intense, like a narcissist, it can affect the entire picture without anyone even realizing it. Empaths are sensitive to energy, even when they try not to be. They can feel tension in the air, notice when someone is pretending, or sense when something doesn't feel quite right. So, when someone else, especially someone with dominant or controlling energy, is behind the camera, the empath may not feel safe to be themselves. Instead of relaxing, they might tighten up. Instead of smiling naturally, they might force a grin. Their body might shift, their face might stiffen, and their eyes might lose their usual sparkle. This is what we call an aura clash, when the energy of the person behind the camera and the energy of the person in front of it don't match. Narcissists, for example, often enjoy being in control. They love being seen and admired. They know how to perform for the camera, and when they take photos of others, they might expect the same performance. But empaths aren't performers. They don't want to be seen for how they look. They want to be felt for who they are. So, when the camera is pointed at them, instead of feeling empowered, they often feel exposed, as if the lens is too sharp, too heavy, too cold. Here's the truth that explains so much. When an empath is uncomfortable, their energy hides. And when energy hides, beauty dims. You might not see this happening with your eyes, but you feel it in the final picture. Something looks off. Maybe you look sad when you weren't, or tired even though you felt fine. Maybe you don't see your usual glow or warmth. That's not a flaw in your looks. It's a sign that your energy wasn't safe enough to shine. Your aura pulled back. Your soul went quiet. This is why some photos feel strange to empaths. It's not about the light, the angle, or even the pose. It's about the energy exchange that happened in that moment. And when that exchange isn't in balance, the photo captures the tension instead of the truth. And your spirit, so full of light, decided to step back instead of show up.